Alright, so bag F is complete. Finally. I knew I wouldn't like this step, and I'll tell you why. The first thing you do is assemble the rear camber links, which went just fine. The instructions give you full size, just like on the front end, for the steering drag link. They give you full size drawings to measure the ball cups to, or the full camber link, and even measurements. I don't know who's going to have a .98 caliper, but anyway, it's pretty easy to measure that. They remind you to consistently have the mark face the left side of the car, which is pretty handy. And so the rear end went fine. You can see that there's plenty of free movement there. And in case you're wondering, if you see the pictures on the build blog, you have 7 links remaining in your bag F after you've built the drag link. You've got the shortest ones. The shortest links are the rear, and then the next longest are the front camber links, and then the longest links of all are the front steering links. So you basically build them from shortest to longest. So it's pretty easy in that respect. The problem I had came with the front camber turnbuckles, which if you go by their measurement, you actually put so much stress on the inside of the ball cup. If you can, this is the remaining camber link or turnbuckle for the steering. When you start screwing it in, it goes further and further and further in until it binds. It makes the ball cup smaller effectively, and it starts pushing against that inside plastic. So you can see pictures on the build blog, but basically you end up with, I mean, that's as free as I can get them at the moment, the front end, and that's after loosening the camber links, so they're actually a little bit longer than what they want you to have them be. They're meant to be 22 millimeters in length between each one, and it's just about there now. So I think it actually needs to be loosened just even a bit more, and they were actually so tight on there that they popped off when I was trying to adjust them with the plastic turnbuckle adjustment tool that they give you in the kit. But when I went by the drawing, I don't know what, maybe my mistake. I happily put my hand up, but anyway, it was very, very, very tight. So and I even pinched the ball cups this way and this way a couple times, and they're still quite tight. So I mean, you can see that one will come down with a bit of movement, but that one, the right side, takes a bit longer. So I might actually loosen them out a bit more. But really, that's I'm sure we'll get to that bridge when we get to it. Because we still have the very tight steering, you can see that there's a lot of stiff movement there. So I'm not sure. I mean, when I put the actual steering servo in, we'll see what if I can loosen those any further, or I may as well, because this is a world's car, and I'm I don't want to put all kinds of modern options on there, but I think a set of bearings on there is going to be just the ticket anyway. So it's, I mean, building tips, there's not really much to say. Use the camber link tool that they give you. It fits on there perfectly and holds it in place. I have one of these, I think Tamiya do this as well, I'm not sure, but this is an old HPI like wheel wrench for touring cars and stuff like that, and this has it just fits the ball cup on there, and you basically hold that in place and you can screw that on. It's very, very handy. It's a lot better than obviously even just having a turnbuckle is a lot better than the threaded rod that comes in the RC10 Classic kit. But if you don't have one of these, borrow one, buy one if you can. But your only other option is to either use your hands, which eventually wears out your thumb. It does end up hurting. Or just use a pair of pliers, and it will take quite a bit longer, because you can see how unwieldy that is. Just thread it in by hand at first and get it on there, and then just hold this with a not too stiff a grip. I would say vice grips, because then you don't have to constantly hold the pliers in place. But then you can just use this to use the turnbuckle tool. So anyway, that was bag F. Next up is building the shocks, bags G and GG.